some stuff that he think I don't know about, or he think he got one up on me. I don't know. He think he got a mole somewhere. I told him I got a.
The boxing world has been shaken as news breaks that Gervonta "Tank" Davis has been taken into federal custody over allegations of match fixing in his controversial fight against Lamont Roach Jr. Just days after rumors of a possible investigation began circulating, the situation has taken an even darker turn.
Hopefully the commission gets this right. It was a bummer not being declared the winner on a technicality that could be righted, that wrong could be righted, obviously, in different ways.
It all started with reports suggesting that Steve Willis, the referee in charge of the fight, provided key information supporting claims that the match was manipulated. Fans and analysts have long questioned how the fight ended in a majority draw despite Roach seemingly doing enough to win. Now, with federal authorities involved, it appears those suspicions were more than justified.
I think Lamont Roach, I think he landed more punches throughout the fight. I think Tank was used to, figuring it out, having that slow start, figuring it out around the third, fourth round. And I think
from the moment the final bell rang, controversy surrounded the result. Roach had outworked Davis in several rounds, and many believed he deserved an outright victory. But then came the 9th round, moment that set off alarms. Davis unexpectedly took a knee in the middle of the action, a shocking move. Referee Steve Willis initially appeared to start a count. Midway through, he changed his mind, waved it off, and ruled that it was not a knockdown. That one decision altered the entire outcome of the fight. Had Willis counted it as a knockdown, Roach would have won the round 10-8, which could have been enough to secure a victory on the scorecards. However, with the call going in Davis's favor, the fight ended in a draw, leaving Roach stunned and fans furious.
What's your thoughts when you first heard that?
When that they wasn't going to overturn it?
Yeah.
I mean, I expected that. I don't really see them doing that. Tank is too big of an attraction. New York, I felt like
Davis's explanation for taking a knee was bizarre, to say the least. He claimed that his hair had been freshly done with too much grease, and when he started sweating, it dripped into his eyes and burned, forcing him to kneel. The excuse was widely mocked, with fans calling it one of the most ridiculous things they had ever heard from a fighter. Critics pointed out that fighters get sweat and blood in their eyes all the time, yet none simply decide to kneel in the middle of a fight. Roach himself was livid after the bout, saying, "If you take a knee, that's a knockdown. That's just the rules. The ref started counting, so why did he stop? They stole this from me." His team wasted no time filing an official complaint with the New York State Athletic Commission, demanding a full review of the fight and how it was officiated. But the controversy didn't stop there.
He take a knee. You need to lose like 10-8 that round at least, no? And plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face. That's a disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rule.
What made things even worse was a chilling comment Davis reportedly made to Roach on the night of the fight. "They ain't gonna give it to you." At the time, many assumed he was simply referring to the usual politics of boxing, where the fighter often gets the benefit of the doubt. But now, in light of the match-fixing allegations, that statement has taken on a whole new meaning. Davis already know how the fight would end before it even started? Was the result predetermined? These are the questions that have now triggered a full-blown federal investigation.
So to me, I thought I won the fight clearly. I thought I won a close fight. I thought I won a very competitive fight.
Okay.
I'm not saying I steamrolled him or whatever.
The feds got involved after Roach's legal team enlisted high-profile attorneys who pushed for a deeper investigation into the fight's outcome. They highlighted suspicious betting activity leading up to the bout, an unusual amount of money being placed on a draw. Draw is one of the rarest results in boxing, so the fact that so much money was wagered on it raised major red flags. Investigators began looking into whether inside information had been leaked to bettors who knew in advance that the fight would end in a draw. Then came the biggest bombshell, the revelation that referee Steve Willis had provided key information to authorities.
It should have been a knockdown, one. So that's why I'm yelling at the referee, like, keep counting. Like, you tripping, keep counting. That's a knockdown. Because if y'all didn't notice, he started the count.
While the full details of what Willis said have not been released, sources indicate that he confirmed external influences affected his decisions during the fight. That confirmation was enough for federal agents to take action against Davis. The arrest is as shocking as it is significant. Davis, who has had his fair share of legal troubles in the past, now finds himself in what could be the most serious situation of his career.
He wasn't coming to lay down. I've been knowing Lamont since we was kids, so we came up in amateurs together. So I knew Lamont was serious. He was coming in there.
If the allegations are proven true, Davis could be facing not just a suspension from boxing, also criminal charges that could land him behind bars. Boxing insiders are already speculating on how this could impact his career moving forward. Some believe this could mark the beginning of the end for Davis, while others think his promotional team, led by Al Heyman and premier boxing champions, will do everything in their power to protect him and keep him fighting. However, even if he avoids legal trouble, damage to his reputation may be irreversible. I feel like when my back is against the wall, against the ropes, it's time to show up. So it wasn't really hard for me to focus because all I had to do was do it, Davis once said. A statement that now carries a different weight amid the scandal. Social media has exploded with reactions. As fighters and boxing personalities, Evan Haney, one of Davis's biggest rivals, wasted no time mocking him, posting, "First he fakes injuries to duck fights, now he's fixing fights. Ain't no way y'all still rockin' with this dude." Oscar De La Hoya, a longtime critic of Davis, tweeted, and saying it for years, "Tank is protected. The truth always comes out." Even veteran boxing analyst Teddy Atlas, known for his no-nonsense takes, called the situation a disgrace to the sport.
I feel like when my back is against the wall or against the ropes, it's like, it's time to show up. So it wasn't really hard for me to focus because all I had to do was...
To make matters worse, Davis's name has now been removed from several boxing rankings. Ring Magazine has officially dropped him from their pound-for-pound list, replacing him with David Benavidez. The backlash is already impacting his career real time, and if the investigation uncovers further evidence, things could get even worse. There is already talk that the New York State Athletic Commission may revisit and void the fight result entirely, which could lead to Roach being declared the rightful winner. If that happens, Davis wouldn't just lose his status as one of the sport's top fighters. He could also have his championship belt stripped away.
I'm still rooting with him. I saw the negativity and people, critics talking, but I think he's one hell of a fighter, and I think he's still the top dog.
As Davis sits in remand awaiting his next legal hearing, question now is whether he will fight his way out of this situation, or if this will be the moment that ends his career. If the feds have enough evidence to charge him with match fixing, he could be facing not only a ban from boxing, but also actual jail time. Some are already comparing this to past boxing scandals, drawing parallels to how Floyd Mayweather was accused of controlling judges and referees throughout his career. However, while Mayweather was never caught in anything this serious, Davis may not be so fortunate. If the allegations hold up, he could go down as the biggest scandal in modern boxing history.
If they reverse the result of your fight,
Yeah.
should they reverse the result of that fight as well?
It just depends. Like if that changes the whole fight, if that gives Roach a victory, give him the victory. That's how you keep the integrity of the sport, right? That's why they suspended me, right? To keep the integrity of the sport. So.
Gervonta Davis is in deeper water than anyone anticipated, and now the boxing world is divided on whether he can bounce back or if his career is permanently damaged. Rolly Romero, one of Davis's past opponents, seems to believe Tank can turn things around in a potential rematch, but his words haven't come without controversy. Speaking to The Ring, Romero said Davis has the ability to make adjustments and secure a win in the rematch. He also added that Roach's performance was so surprising that even Roach himself might not have expected it. That statement alone raised eyebrows. Was Romero implying that Roach, because if there's one thing the boxing world has agreed on, it's that Roach was the better man that night. It wasn't luck, and it wasn't a fluke.
He caught me with a good shot, but it was times that I sat in there with him and I'm like, damn, this guy like super slow. Well, not super slow, but he's slow, and I could have took advantage of. I think I was boxing too much in the beginning, and when I failed...
Tank, you lost that fight. I mean, the only reason they gave you the fight was because you would make more money as a champion, but there's no way it's a draw, and they didn't call the knockdown. If they called a knockdown, you lost.
Roach outboxed Davis and would have won if not for the questionable officiate. But now, with Davis under federal investigation for match fixing, Romero's comments take on an even deeper meaning. The way Romero described Roach's performance makes it sound like a once-in-a-lifetime performance, something Roach could never replicate. But was it really? Roach didn't just land a few lucky punches. He controlled large portions of the fight, made Davis uncomfortable, and exposed weaknesses that no one had truly tested before. Romero trying to downplay that could be his way of protecting his own loss to Davis. After all, if Roach, a fighter who has never been seen as elite, was able to give Davis all these problems, what does that say about Romero's performance?